Hello, friend. Thank you so much for joining me over on YouTube. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up that the training that you're about to see was originally recorded via Facebook Live over on our Facebook page. If you like what you see and would like to learn more, make sure you join us over on Facebook for weekly tips and tricks to help you grow your direct sales business and work smarter, not harder. I'm really excited to talk about this because some of this is kind of a mindset issue where people are nervous about being spammy or salesy when we're talking about bookings and when we're offering the hosting opportunity. So I just want to hash through this really quick. So let's talk about how to book parties without being spammy, without being salesy, without coming across like a used car salesman, because I didn't want to be that way. I am 100% sure that you don't want to be that way. So we're going to kind of talk about how we can flip the switch and start thinking about it a little bit differently, start talking about hosting a little bit differently, and maybe make some mindset shifts on how we're thinking about bookings, okay, and how we're thinking about the hosting opportunity. You guys, let's talk about how we can avoid the spammy, salesy experience when we're offering the hosting opportunity. So I'm gonna give you, I've got seven things you should probably stop doing or how to avoid it. But I might think of some more as we go because that's how my brain works. So I might have a few that we add on. So first of all, okay, this is a big one. So I'm going to deal with the elephant in the room right away. Okay, guys, avoid cold messaging. Okay. I know that someone might be your Facebook friend, but that does not mean that they're interested in your business. Okay. They may not be interested in your products. They may not be interested in your hosting opportunity. They're probably not interested in joining your team. Okay. When you message someone that you haven't seen or talked to in the last 12 years and ask them to book a party, it comes across as gross, like really gross. Okay. Like the used car salesman approaching randos on the street. All right. And the worst part is when this does happen, you are killing any potential relationship that you have with this person. You've given them nothing. All you're doing is asking for something in return. You've provided zero value to them. Literally all you've done is ask for something, okay? Random people on Facebook don't care about your goals or what your sales quota is or what that means to you and your family. Okay. That's your warm market or your hot market that loves you and actually cares about you. These people don't know you, friends. Okay. No, they don't know you. And so what you should do instead is actually do a good job of prospecting and warming people up. So comment on their posts, engage with them. If you sell food stuff and are they posting about food? If you sell skincare, are they talking about skincare? If you sell crafty stuff, are they talking about crafty stuff? So comment on those. Don't just scroll, okay? Oh, that person posted a recipe. They must want to host a party. Let me go message them. Let me go private message them. Oh, that person was someone I knew in 7th grade. We were like besties back then. Let me go message them. Guys, that's not how it works, okay? That's not how it works. So now let me say this because some of you are like, well, that's what I was told to do. That's what my upline or my company told me to do. And it works for them. Okay. Does it work? Yes, it works because of quantity. All right. It works because of quantity, but at what cost? You could send a couple hundred messages and maybe get 1 or 2 parties from an extremely cold market, but you have just alienated the other 198 people who are no longer interested in anything you have to say and have now put a black mark on other direct sellers. Does that make sense? And I know that's kind of harsh, but I really want you to think about that. Direct selling at its core is a relationship focused business. So when you have zero relationship with someone, it would be, I'm going to pick on Ann for a second because I see her on. It would be like me random messaging Ann, hey, we don't know each other, but you want to set up a coaching call? Hey, we don't know each other. You want my graphics? Hey, we don't know each other, but I saw you posted about St. Patrick's Day. Do you need some St. Patrick's Day party graphics? Like, that's just random, guys. It's random. Okay. And I double dog dare somebody to private message me that doesn't know me. It does not end well. I'm very gracious, but I'm also very quick to point out that I'm not going to buy your stuff just because you random message me on Facebook. Okay, but here's a better way to do this is what I usually do. Okay, so that's number one, avoid cold messaging. Okay, we want to warm these people up. We want to actually build a relationship and figure out what they want, figure out what they need before we go in with a booking ask. Now, does that take longer? Yeah, but you're going to build a better customer base. Okay. Number two, give value first. And this kind of goes along with that. So how often are you actually posting on social? Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but I'm here every Wednesday and I give a ton of value in these videos, right? So I'm here coaching and training for free for a good 15 to 20 minutes most weeks, sometimes 30 if it gets really chatty, right? So I'm here doing that every single week. Does everybody buy my stuff? Nope. But do you trust me more? Do you know me more because I've given you value first? Because I've actually loved on you, because I do care about you and your success in your business? Are you doing that first before you want something in exchange? Like, are you actually getting to know people and helping them with whatever pain point your people are struggling with? Okay. Are you actually giving before you're taking? All right. So are you doing that? Or are you just posting on your personal profile and posting on your business page, buy my stuff, host a party, join my team? Hey guys, come buy 10 of these things because my team has a goal and this is going to help my family. Like, no, you're not actually giving them anything. Okay. So there's no value exchange. When there's a value exchange, what happens? You build trust, you deepen that relationship. Does that make sense, guys? So before you go in with an ask and ask them for something in return, have you given them anything? Like, truly, have you given them anything? All right. So I think that's a perspective we need to flip, because it's not something that we think about, right? But it's something that we need to think about. It's something that we need to be at the forefront of our mind. What have I given in exchange for this ask that I'm about to make? Okay. Number three is make it all about them. This is something that we must do. Okay. People don't care. And I've said this before, but I'm going to drive it home. People don't care if you need a sale for a promotion. People don't care if you need bookings. Okay. What's in it for them? Okay. First of all, have I given value? And second, what's in it for them? Like, just booking a party because you need it? No, like, how is it actually going to help me? How is it actually going to solve my problem? So is it because I'm going to provide a ton of tips and tricks at my party and you're going to learn some cool stuff? Is it because you've been looking at this one product and I know that it's coming up at a discount? That's what's in it for them. Does that make sense? And that one implies a relationship beforehand. But we need to make sure that it's all about them in our verbiage and in our language, because guys, if we focus on serving first, the selling and the income automatically comes. Okay. Because people, again, see us as someone who cares about them and who actually has their best interests at heart. And so we need to think about serving more and selling less, because the selling actually comes when we focus on serving. So how is this hosting opportunity, how is this booking going to serve them? And guys, that implies that there's a connection. That implies that there's a relationship, right? So we need to flip the script. Okay. Flip the script in our mind. And when we focus on serving first, friends, guess what? It comes across in our language. It comes across in what we say and how we feel. And if I'm like, okay, Doreen, like you said you have this pain point and we built a little bit of a relationship. Here's the best product for you. Okay. If she says, no, I don't want that product, I'm not offended. I'm not upset, because I was going in it with 100% the right heart and the right motive of serving her and giving her the best thing. But if she doesn't want it, no skin off my back, no worries. I know that that's the best thing for you, but it's cool if it takes you a little bit longer to decide. So we don't get all in our head about it, because we're coming at it from a place of serving the other person. Okay. So make it all about them. Number 4, focus on the conversation, not the script. Okay, guys, I know when you first start direct sales that we need the script to get started, to kind of start the conversations and give us something to begin with, especially if you've never done anything like this before. You've never sold anything before or anything like that. But when we focus so much on the script, we forget about the relationship. We forget about the conversation. All right. we forget about that these are real people on the other end of these messages and on the other end of these phone calls. So we've got to change that and actually focus on, sure, you can use a script to get started, but as we continue the conversation, it's just us chatting. Like, it's just us getting to know each other. So when we go in when we're going in, where we're like prospecting or we're warming up or we're building a relationship, don't just immediately think, how can I flip this to a booking? Like, this is my next question. Have you guys ever had that where you've called like a tech help thing, or this drives my husband crazy because he's in the IT world, and they're like, plug this in. What do you see? Do this, push this button. He's like, I've already done all that. Like, just right. And so when people, they're just following a script, they're not actually listening to what you're saying. And I know that's your job. Like, don't get all mad at me. Like, that's the process they have to go through, because they wouldn't do it if a lot of times it didn't fix the problem. Right. But, don't focus so much on the script. Focus on the conversation. You're just talking to someone. And I can guarantee you, if you're having a good conversation with them and you're not just trying to focus on a booking script, like, how can I work in the booking, right? Then the relationship starts to deepen and the relationship gets even better, and they're going to remember that. I've had so many conversations with people. I remember one time it was a home party, and she didn't want to book. I did offer it because I offered it to everyone. Didn't want to book a party, but we chit-chatted the whole time that she was at the party. But she told me no on the booking. You know, I offered a couple of overcome the hesitations, that sort of thing. Still didn't work. And I'm like, it's cool. No worries. I mean, this is the best way for you to get the products that you want, but I totally get it. Like, it's fine. But she joined my VIP group, because I always told my people at my home parties, hey, go find me on Facebook. And I did a little prize drawing. So she joined my VIP group, and like 2 days later, she messaged me and she's like, because I provided value, I gave first. I actually had a conversation with her, focused on what was in it for her. It was an easy booking. She just messaged me and booked a party, right? So again, focus on the conversation, not trying to work off a script. Number 5, always tell the truth. All right. So guys, I hate that I even have to say this one, but I need to say this one. Okay. Sometimes when we're desperate for the booking, when we're desperate to fill our calendar, we will say things that aren't actually true. So we will over exaggerate host benefits. We will tell people that host that they don't have to do anything. Just invite people. I'll do the rest. Well, that's a flat out lie. Like, if I've got a hostess that just invites people and doesn't do anything else, that party is going to be bad. Okay. So don't tell people that when you're trying to book parties. It comes across as desperate when we've got that type of verbiage in there. You only have to do this. You only have to do that, or you don't need to do anything. Okay. So avoid that. And then to piggyback on that, number 6, avoid desperation language. So if you're using words like I need, I want, help, okay, those are not for cold people and most warm people, okay? Those are not words that we need to include in a booking ask, okay? Because that's not all about them. That's all about you and what the booking is going to do for you in your business. So we need to be careful of using that sort of language when we're working on our booking ask. I only need 2 more parties. Or please help me. I had one girl one time, we went back and forth over Messenger. She was attending a party, and she was a direct seller for another company. And at that point, I was an upper level leader. I had a little experience in the game, right? And she was like, she wanted to swap parties, and I was like, I don't really swap parties right now. I'm not really interested in your product, blah, blah, blah. It was legit. Like, I really didn't want to swap the party because I didn't want to buy whatever her product was. I don't remember what it was. She poured on the heaviest, like, try to guilt trip. I really want to grow my business. I need this party, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you think this is going to convince me, like, begging and pleading is not going to work. So I finally had to just like cut the conversation off. Okay. Complete turn off, guys, complete turn off. And that's how you come across as spammy and salesy and just in it to get, what you want out of the booking. Okay. All right. And then number 7, again, I hate that I have to say this one, but I've seen this happening a lot more with network marketers than direct sellers. But I want to say, stop the fake friendships. Okay. Stop the fake friendships. And what do I mean by that? by sending a ton of people, and I know that there are coaches out there that say this, all right? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't friend request the people in your parties. You have a connection to them. But using Facebook to determine your cold audience connections, okay, where you send me a friend request and then you go comment on my last 10 photos on my personal profile, okay, and then you send me a private message. No way, dude. No way, dude. Okay. You random person from the internet, you do not need to be randomly messaging me and doing that sort of thing. All right. So it's a fake friendship. I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. And so does everybody else. They know that you're sending the friend request because you usually get them in bunches because it's somebody out there that said, go send the friend request out. Go friend request 10 new people a day. Right? No, guys, don't just go randomly friend request people. Like if you've got a connection, absolutely do that. That's what Facebook is for, is extending our social media connection, right? But don't just do it for randomness, okay? And then go comment on my posts and then send me a message about buying your stuff. Friends, that don't work. They don't work, okay? Okay. It's been pretty bad at some points. I'm not sure how I get in that circle of people because you have like the same. And listen, I go check out their profile. I try to see what they're selling, but sometimes they don't have it on there. So don't do that. Don't stop the fake friendships. Let's go with the real social media friendships. Okay. So some other common pitfalls and why you aren't keeping a full calendar, guys. Sometimes we have the wrong mindset about bookings. Sometimes we think that the hostess is helping us out if she books a party. Okay, and that's that help, need type language. We're thinking about it all wrong. All right, so I want you to flip the script in your mind. A lot of times, guys, if I did the math when I was in the field and with our host program that we had, and if my hostess was on it, right, and she maxed out her host rewards. Now, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they couldn't afford to pay for like 50% off items and stuff like that. Totally fine. But most of the time, if they maxed out their host rewards and they did a really good job, and we did a good job of picking out those strategic products so she could save the most, she saved more than I earned in commission. Okay. Think about that for a second. Who is that booking really about? It's about her. And when you start getting messages from your hosts or hostesses that say, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have been able to afford these things had I not done the party. Thank you so much. That's what you want, guys. That's what you want. And so my perspective flipped when I started getting those messages where I'm like, I'm actually doing people a service by offering this. It's not about me. It's about how I can serve those people. So don't think about it as it's all about me. Of course, you're getting benefit, but it's all about them, guys. It's all about them. Okay. And then another pitfall with keeping a full calendar is a lack of consistency. So I can tell you, okay, I want you to go follow up with some customers, or go follow up with 10 customers from previous parties. Go send out, all the booking message. Go reach out to all the guests at your parties. Okay. Does that make sense? So when we think about that, when I tell you to go do that, you got to do that every single week. Okay. You got to do that consistently with every single party. You got to do that every single month. It can't just be, well, I'm going to do it this one time, because then we end up in this binge booking nonsense, right? Where we're like, I got my calendar full and now it's not full again. And I got my calendar full and now it's not full again, right? So we end up in this binge booking mindset, which causes us to talk like desperate people, to cold message, to do all those things. Guys, if you would literally, guys, if you will focus on consistency, all of those other spammy and salesy things will go away. Literally. The desperation language, because you're not desperate because your calendar stays full. The giving of value first, like you're already doing that because you're doing a good job with your parties and you're making it all about them. You're having conversations all the time. So it's not just coming in with the booking ask, right? So we're avoiding all the fake friendships and the cold messaging. We're avoiding all of that because we're consistently keeping our calendar full. Okay. Because every single week we do the things that we're supposed to do. Okay. We're consistently posting on social where it's not just buy my stuff. I need to sell 10 things. Okay. That's not what it is. All right. So let's kind of flip the script, you guys. I know this is hard sometimes, especially if you're new in direct sales or you've had a hard time with the booking mindset. So I want you to work on this. I want you to consciously think about, what am I saying? What am I thinking? What am I doing, okay, to cause this to come across the wrong way? What am I doing that makes me look like a used car salesman? And I will also say, you guys, if you're worried about looking like a used car salesman, most of the time you're not. Does that make sense? If you're actually taking the time to think through what you're doing, most of the time you're not acting like a used car salesman because you're coming at it from the right perspective. How can I serve this person? What value can I offer? How can I do the right thing by my customers and my hosts and everybody else? All right. So you're actually not coming across as a used car salesman. So you're not. All right. So sometimes we're worried about feeling spammy, but we're the furthest thing from the truth. We're like the furthest thing from it. So don't get that in your head either. Check yourself, check your heart, check your language. If somebody says no, all right, I'm gonna go offer it to somebody else, right? That's what we need to do. All right, friends, I hope that was helpful. Hopefully we can check our mindset, especially as we're heading into the spring. We're kind of coming out of that winter nonsense and we've got some fun spring. I know lots of you guys have fun new spring products that have already released or about to release. So, right, you've got some fun things to offer. So go offer, but avoid those traps that we talked about, okay? All right, guys, have a fabulous rest of your Wednesday and the rest of your week. And I will see you back here next Wednesday. Bye, guys.